All right, there we go. All right, and it's recording. All right, guys, so this is going to go up on all my platforms. This is my friend Lewis from the UK. We go pretty far back. He is a strength coach like myself. We're going to do some collab videos. I'm going to link his Facebook business page underneath all of these, on all the platforms. But yeah, we're going to discuss mistakes people make in weight loss and fat loss. So if you want to introduce yourself also, Lewis.
Yeah, like Jason said, Lewis Whenlock, strength coach in the UK. My brand's Logical Lifting. Don't know if you can see.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, straight out of West Darton in the UK. Like I say, me and Jason go way back, probably maybe a decade.
Maybe a decade.
Yeah,
Yeah.
at least 8 years. I mean, I remember the ice cream fitness. It was that. So a decade, yeah, man. And we've just been chatting more or less since, haven't we? More so in the past year or so. But yeah, that's me.
Absolutely. So yeah, I'm going to be doing a lot more collab work with other coaches. You're one of the coaches I know and like, and I'm like, yeah, let's get in and do it. Let's get some topics. So mistakes people make in fat loss, because you work a little more with gym pop people than I do to some extent,
Yeah,
although you work with athletes and lifters too.
yeah, yeah.
You know, but it seems like weight loss is a overly complicated topic for a lot of people, and it really is not that complicated. So it ultimately is calories in, calories out, but with the nuance of you have to find a way to make the calories in and calories out work. And that's the biggest part. And that's one of the things I see a lot of people harp on, the whole evidence-based crowd, is they just say, oh, it's calories in, calories out, but then they're not getting into, well, there's a lot of nuance in how an individual deals with that, how they deal with appetite, energy turnover, all those things. But yeah, so what are just
It's
common
like
mistakes that you
going
see
through
as
that.
people
It's
trying?
like
Yeah,
if it fits your macros crowd,
right,
and they just use it, don't they, as an excuse to eat crap. It's
right,
not if it fits your macros and it's good food. It's like, oh, I can have all this chocolate because I'm only having 2,500 calories a day or something. Like, no, that's not how you should think of it. But
right,
the big thing I see, especially this is with like people who live like a sedentary lifestyle. They've never been to the gym before. They
right,
are probably overweight because all they do is sit down and watch TV.
right.
And what they do is they do too much too soon. So they start running, I think, is the big one. When people think of
Yeah.
fat loss, they think, I've got to go for a run. So they
Mhm.
start running, especially the people I know, like down in the UK, and they start eating salads and literally nothing but salads and the
Yeah.
more boring salads as well.
And then
So,
they burn out. They burn out
yeah,
in no time.
the first week or so, yeah, they lose a lot of weight, a lot of water, awesome. And then they're like, wow, this sucks. This is really hard and this is dull. I am not enjoying myself at all. And then they just crash back. They just come
Right.
back, probably become fatter in the long term.
Well, and I think there's a couple points to address with that. Number one, obviously, people try to do too much too soon. They think that they can make these enormous changes, overnight. When it's like, well, how many years did it take you to get to the condition you're in?
Yeah.
5 years, 10 years, 20 years? You're not going to fix that in 30 days, and it takes lifestyle changes, and that means small changes. And it's exactly what you said. They try to do a bunch of running. They don't strength train. That's
Yeah.
another big point. When if you're trying to preserve lean tissue, preserve metabolism, so that you can keep the energy
Even
turnover
building some
higher.
lean tissue because these people have never lifted in their life. They're going to start running, putting all that force on the knees because they're probably not going to be running well. The gait's probably going to be
Oh yeah,
terrible.
yeah. They're not going to hire
Uh,
a running coach.
so they're going to be, miserable and have sore knees and then quit.
Yeah, and like you said, then they eat a food that is not only boring, completely boring to them, which that's not so bad. I mean, again, if you learn to spice stuff up, but it's the fact that they probably drop their calories too low and then jack their activity way up. Whereas then for me, if I get someone who's new and they come to me, I'm like, make two lifestyle changes. Maybe go join the gym, lift weights twice a week, and cut the liquid calories out of your diet. That's it.
Yeah, just
That's all
gradual.
you need. Do that for the first month, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. That's all you need to start with. They're
Yeah,
like,
I'm
well,
a
yeah,
big
go get on.
like a couple of veggies in, but getting you three out your five a day kind of thing, because most people are not going to do that initially. So it's like, right, we'll focus on that. Yeah, we'll get you in the gym under a bar or lifting weights, not slogging on the treadmill. and we'll take it from there.
Yeah. And definitely not, that's definitely an issue. People who are overweight who pick up running, I'm like, you better rethink this one through.
Why? Yeah. Why would you want to run?
Well, it's like,
Yeah.
it's like, well, you look at them and go, number one, you're not conditioned to it. Number two, you're overweight. You don't need to be running.
That is two big no-nos there. So
Yeah.
I think that's a big thing newbies or beginners make for sure. But I don't think TikTok and Instagram and that helps this, because that is
No,
just
absolutely
a
not.
cesspool of misinformation, as I know you know. And
Right.
that's where
Well,
I
we've
think
been doing this. We've been doing this a long time. So.
yeah, and I think that's where the whole what is it, the insulin hypothesis. I think that's why that's so popular and so big.
Right.
Yeah, people just think
Even though it's been
answer.
debunked.
Yeah.
I mean, my bro Alan has been debunking it for over a decade.
Aragon, yeah, of course.
Aragon, because he and I go way back.
There's that, and what else is there now with it? Beyond keto, now we've got carnivore, haven't we?
Which is its own insanity.
Yeah, that is just ridiculous. I think actually I was arguing with some guy yesterday about it, and it's just brain rot, just nonsense coming out of his fingers, his mouth, his typing. Yeah.
Right. And the funny thing is, it's what I tell people. Look, if you want to do a really restrictive diet to lose weight, like, because they're going to go to these restrictive diets, I'm like, why not just go with what's proven to work? If you jump up and say, well, I want some really restrictive diet because you've decided that's what you need.
Yeah.
How about, chicken, rice, and vegetables?
Yeah.
Eat that for every meal. If you want a restrictive diet, because that's proven to work. Decades of people have gotten to body fats that are so low you can't even sustain it eating that way. Like bodybuilders have gotten contest lean doing that for 50 years.
Yeah, they are. I mean, bodybuilding aside, they know how to diet, don't they? That's to ridiculously lean levels. But if you want to be insane, just do the ultimate diet, Lyle's stuff. If that's your mentality and you think, right, I want something really restrictive, go try that. And I think pretty soon you'll be like, maybe I'll take it slow.
Take it slower.
That's not fun. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because Lyle has some crazy stuff there, but it works. I mean, that's what I always tell people with Lyle. I mean, a lot of people don't like Lyle. A lot of people don't like me, but a lot of people don't like Lyle. But it's like at the end of the day, his stuff works.
Yeah. I think just as a person, he's an ass. I mean, I love following him. I love what he does and when he calls stuff out. But he's an ass. I can see why people don't like him.
He's abrasive, and a lot of people don't like him. But at the end of the day, he's usually right. I mean, 9 out of 10 times, he's right.
Yeah. Like easily. Yeah. I love his stuff. It's great. But going back to just in general, creating a calorie deficit, I think that's become like, just going a calorie deficit. I think that's become like the new eat less and move more. Like people know this, like especially overweight people.
Well, we would hope they know it. Well, a lot of people pretend like they don't know it because they don't want to adhere to it.
Yeah.
Well,
people know it. It's just, like you said, getting them to do it or teaching them how to do it in a sustainable manner.
Yeah.
It's not good telling someone who's, super obese they need to eat less or, be a bit more active. It's getting them to do it.
It's getting them to do it. And I would say, again, you take someone who's really obese and they're sedentary. I mean, what does it really take for them to lose the first 20 kg? I tell you what it takes. Go do a basic strength training program for 30 minutes twice a week.
Yeah.
Go walking for 30 minutes a day and add more vegetables to your diet.
Yeah, don't.
And the reason I say that is for those people, are their calories going to go down by default if they start adding more vegetables in?
Easily.
You add, you use kg. I mean, I have audience all over the world, so I'll just stick with kilograms. You add a kilogram of vegetables to your diet every day, you can't force as much pizza in.
No, not at all.
It just physically won't fit as easily into your stomach. So by default, their calories are gonna go down.
Yeah, like drastically as well.
Drastically, the strength training will start increasing. Yeah.
That is a massive drop, and you're gonna feel full, obviously.
Yeah, and because that's what it comes down to. If people are obese, it's because they want to feel full. Most people who are very obese have appetite problems inside with
Food
their leptin
addiction.
and ghrelin and things in their brain,
Yeah,
and they need to feel full.
yeah, yeah,
Well, they can fill up on some extra vegetables, and that will satisfy that need to have for their stomach not to growl.
yeah, easily.
Because for them, it's like that empty stomach feeling starts doing stuff with their ghrelin levels and things in their brain. And then before long, now they're ravenously hungry. Well, throw some extra vegetables at it.
Yeah.
Throw some
Yeah.
extra lean protein at it after that. And for those people, they don't need a restrictive diet.
No,
Yeah, they don't need to go to all salads and trying to run. They
no.
they literally just need something to suppress their appetite a little, which would be some extra vegetables and some extra lean protein.
And
All
to
right,
walk, to
and
move.
and to get up and move, just walk.
Yeah,
Just walking.
yeah, yeah. Like you said, if they're that big, walking will do.
Walking will
And that's
burn through
probably all the
enormous
people
amounts of
at the time.
calories. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
And if they can get some basic strength training in, their metabolism will stay high.
yeah, yeah. Legit.
You know? And for those people, it really is that simple. It really is. And that's easy to implement. Okay, it's hard to get someone from that position off the couch to, go do real hardcore stuff, but most of them will go, well, I could add vegetables every day.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
all I have to do is put it in my mouth and chew it and eat it. Okay, I can handle that.
yeah,
Just
yeah,
add some vegetables in my diet. Yeah, I can get up and go walk for 30 minutes
yeah.
and then ease them into, can I go do a basic, very basic strength program with some weights twice a week? Okay. So you take those three things and that's their first 20 kilograms.
Yeah, done. Done. Yeah.
Done.
And then go from there. They're going to feel so much better being able to
Yeah, they're going to
was
feel better.
less. Was that
Yeah.
about 45 pounds? That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, imagine not having that on your back. Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's life changing.
And it's that simple. But here's the problem with the influencers and the fad diet people. Can you market that?
No, can you? Can you?
How are we going to make money off telling obese people that if they just add some vegetables to their diet every day, go strength train for 30 minutes twice a week and go walk for 30 minutes a day, that they're going to lose 20 kilograms?
Yeah, it's not very feasible, is it, from a marketing point of view?
How am I supposed to market that? That's one fits on one paragraph.
Yeah, yeah,
How am I supposed to sell a book? How am I
yeah.
supposed to sell a product line?
Or a workout plan or
Remember
something.
sell them broccoli?
Yeah, this magic secret that we used. Yeah, we put apple cider vinegar in water. Yeah, or something stupid like that. But
And
yeah, I know you feel the same. I can't stand these influencers who are obviously on a boatload of drugs.
yeah,
Have probably never been overweight in their life. They're just, just lean anyway. Just normal, like a healthy body fat. They've never been obese or overweight.
they have no
They're
idea.
trying to tell these people
Yeah.
what to do. It's like, hey, just shut up, man. Just shut up.
Whereas it me? I've been 100 pounds overweight before. I've done this. I know how to do it.
Yeah, I've been, I've been overweight and lost weight in that. I'm not like this genetically gifted like specimen on a load of tren and diuretics and stuff like that. I've had to work for it. Not saying they don't work for their physique, but I don't think
But it is different.
they need to
Yeah.
learn.
Well, that's the funny thing is you and I as strength coaches who understand programming, we look at their programming too and realize, how most of them have no idea how to train either.
Yeah.
Like they need to be very grateful that they were born with those genetics they were.
Yeah, just coasting on them genetics and drug use. It's like, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you throw whatever you want at them, they're going to look all right. They're going to look good.
They're still going to look pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, better than average for sure. Like,
because half of them, they don't even know basic biomechanics. They have no concept of programming. Of course, that's something we'll talk about in a later one. If people overcomplicate programming to where stuff I've seen you post about, we both post about that.
Yeah.
The tricks people use to overcomplicate programming so that they sound smarter than they really are.
Yeah, what's the big one? I think you posted on it recently about squeezing on all the rows and stuff. Why?
And then people see my back, and I'm like, really? I don't do that at all.
I don't do any squeezing or stupid shit.
And all the research says that it won't work.
Yeah, all these guys who are just manipulating like the slightest angle, and they think, oh yeah, you're gonna get more lat, more rhomboid, more teres, or more bicep from this. It's like, just curl, bro. Just row. Just pull down.
Oh,
Just lift.
particularly
Lift.
single joint exercises. But again, that's its own
I
topic.
know. We're going off on tangents. Back to
Like
fat loss.
if you can mess up a single joint exercise, I don't know what to tell you.
I, I'd like to agree, but even today, going to the gym, I've seen some pretty horrendous stuff. Yeah.
Well, but are they really doing a single joint exercise at that point?
Well, no, it's like
I mean, if you
like reverse cleans.
yeah, exactly. I mean, if you're using hip extension and hip drive on a curl, it's not exactly a single joint movement.
No, fair. But they want it to be, though. That's the thing. This isn't on purpose. Yeah. Yeah, doing rope curls like. Well, yeah, okay. Back to fat loss for people.
Back to fat loss.
I just think there's too much. They're oversaturated with misinformation.
Yeah.
I don't have TikTok, but I've seen enough to know that is a absolute cesspool. I know Instagram's bad and the reels are quite bad, but I think that is just the worst. It just breeds shite.
Yeah, it really does.
Overcomplicated stuff. Like, yeah, I don't even know where to begin with TikTok.
Yeah, right. Well, to the point too, where I mean, people have gotten so extreme too, that where it's like we used to know what a healthy diet was. This was not a complicated topic until we get to the extreme end, maybe for very serious athletes or people with specific medical issues. Then it can get quite nuanced. Yeah. But for the average person, I mean, you go now and it's like we have this whole what I call healthy diet TM. Is the way I would word it now. Like let's trademark healthy diets and products. Yeah. I mean, realistically, we all know what a healthy diet is.
Yeah.
And healthy doesn't guarantee you're going to lose weight. That's the other thing too. But a healthy diet, get plenty of fruits and vegetables, limit saturated fat, limit refined sugars. Notice I didn't even say go to zero.
Yeah, just limit. Yeah.
Limit them.
Yeah.
Try keep a rough track of your calories. But even then, that's not necessarily what we think of as a healthy diet. But I mean, eat fruits and vegetables, eat lean proteins.
Yeah.
Limit the junk.
Yeah.
That's a healthy diet.
Alcohol. I know you don't.
Yeah, I don't
barely drink, but you can have a beer. You don't have to eliminate that if that's what you like. I mean, right. I know Viada, he loves a beer, doesn't he? He loves it after his runs. He absolutely tanks beers. And he's probably one of the fittest dudes on earth, bro.
That we know, in any of our circles.
Yeah, 100%.
But the thing is, you got to think with Viada, look at his energy turnover.
Oh no, that's what I mean.
That's what it comes down to, yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Well, that comes down to that when people say you can't out-train a bad diet, then you look at Viada.
Yeah. I think it was Wendler wrote an article about that actually, and he was basically saying you can. It depends what people define as a bad diet. Right. Is it eating crap or just eating too much? Well, you can eat crap and look good.
Well, in his case, it's a bit of everything, because he is eating some healthy foods, but he's also a beer and donuts every day type of guy.
Yeah.
But it's literally because he's 230 pounds and running marathons.
And then pulling 600 pounds.
Deadlifting
the next day or the same day or something.
So yeah, I mean, it's just insane. But in his case, he literally has to have that to get the calories he needs.
Yeah. But there's no reason just like the average guy who just goes to the gym can't have the odd thing. Like you said, just limit the bad stuff.
Well, but then we come over to personality types, and this is something my friend Brianna Thoreau has written quite a bit about. We deal with personality types of abstainers versus moderators. There are a lot of people, like up to half the population, can't moderate, so the whole flexible dieting won't work for them. Yeah,
same.
So
big chocolate bar, I'm having the whole thing.
Yeah.
I'm not having it.
And that's when we talk about, mistakes people make in fat loss. It's when people say, well, everyone's different. No. We need to understand why they're different.
Yeah.
Because it's always, they'll pull that to try to say, well, keto or whatever is good. No, keto's not good. It's not good for anybody. It really isn't.
No.
So when we say everyone's different, it's to understand personality types and how hormones affects those. And
Psychology.
that's a big one. That's where people are different. And because of that difference, you really have to have two separate divergent diet philosophies. Like we just said, you have the one group who they can get away with that junk.
Yeah.
And that's about half the population. And if they just moderate it, they'll do really, really well. Like you said, the guy who you just described with that. And that's okay because biologically it's okay to have that little bit of treat. It's not going to derail your diet. Psychologically, it might. So if you're the sort of person who can moderate, that philosophy will work very well for you.
Yeah. Whether it's I am the opposite.
Sure, I am too. Yeah,
Yeah.
which is why I don't drink. I'm a complete non-drinker because I can't have just one. For me, I can't just have one slice of pizza.
Yeah. Same.
So,
Gotta be
so I fall into that abstainer personality type. So for me, it really has to be, I can't work in those treats every day. I give myself scheduled cheat meals. And it might be, every 14 days, I allow myself a cheat meal. But that's going to be an entire pizza.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's like it's all or nothing. I either have it all or none of it,
Or not at all.
or else I will have it all. Yeah. I
Sure.
definitely fall into that category.
And it's a personality thing, and those people say, well, it's an unhealthy relationship. It's like, but you're not going to change that.
No.
It is a personality trait. So people who are prone to addictions, it has to do with dopamine. It has to do with the way different neurotransmitters and brain hormones work. So if you're in that category, you have to just abstain.
Yeah.
Unless you have a scheduled type cheat, and I like to do them as social type events because there's my check.
Yeah.
And then once that social event is done, my cheat's done.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah. It's a good way to do it.
And so that's how I personally like to do it. But for other people, they need to understand that assessing when they go into wanting to lose some weight or to diet, even if they're not overweight, they just want to get lean and get abs or whatever they're doing, they're going to have to assess their personality type. And we don't see enough people talking about that either, because one strategy will derail one group that will work brilliant for the other. Because I just described that. And so if you're one of those people who you can't moderate, you have to abstain. But if you have the people who can moderate and they need that thing, if they try to be ultra strict for 14 days straight without a single piece of junk, it's going to be a problem for them. That's going to be an adherence issue.
Yeah.
So, we tell people, figure out your personality type. Are you a person who you're all in when you do something, it's 100%? Like, which also means when you open that container of ice cream, can you weigh out 500 calories of ice cream on a scale, or are you going to polish off the entire container?
Yeah. Yeah, been there.
So we both fall into that latter personality type. But we both know plenty of coaches and friends and other people who are in the other. They moderate really well. So, I think that's the take home there. Know yourself. And it's for people who are trainers and coaches, you need to figure out real quick with your clients which category they're in.
Oh, yeah.
But you see too many who push it as all or nothing. And that's the big problem with, again, you talked about the flexible dieting crowd of everyone needs to be able to work in what is this number? They come with 20% of your calories every day from junk food. And I'm just like,
so much silly like that. Yeah.
And they're like, and if you do it any other way, well, they've just screwed half the population.
Yeah.
Like, so literally I can tell them that as a trainer, they are only capable of training 50% of the Earth's population. That's it. The other half, they're not qualified to train if they really believe that that's the only way.
Because the other half are going to use it, like I said, as an excuse to just eat crap.
Because it'll be trigger foods and they'll binge. Yeah. So it's those are when we get into the deeper end. That's the stuff that we need to know. What category is this person in?
Yeah.
And I think we were chatting also too earlier. You mentioned something about having people who don't know how their calories work. Which early on, the obese person, really obese, doesn't need that. But what about
no.
Once they've lost a bit, then we do need to start understanding calories better.
Yeah, like I said, I was baffled when they asked. It's like they didn't understand what the BMI was, the basal metabolic rate. what the total daily
oh, well, you should clarify that because we could discuss that before we started recording.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So if you want to give a little brief
BMR
backstory on that.
Oh, the actual exchange.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I had one of my clients, a long-term client. He asked me. He gave me this example, this scenario. He said, "I don't understand calories. If someone's eating 1,000 calories a day, which is daft, and then they're trying to burn, and then they're trying to burn 1,500, how is that possible?" And we got into it a bit, and he was basically assuming you'd be burning all that 1,500 calories through exercise, which is just absurd. And I was just, frowning, like, "What do you mean? You need calories to live. You have like this basic need every day." And he was like, "What?" Proper dumbfounded. So yeah, people need to know that they need a certain amount of calories.
Right. And well, we define that in the profession as TDEE, which is total daily energy expenditure.
Yeah.
Which is a whole combination of all the different ways that your body burns calories. That's going to be number one, base metabolic rate.
Yeah.
Which is what you burn if you're laying there and never got out of bed or moved.
Yeah. So if you were in bed 24 hours, that's what you burn. That's what you need to function.
Like, so if you were in a coma or you slept 24 hours a day, pretty much. Because, so you have that, then you're going to have your NEAT, which is the non-exercise activity. So any moving that you do that's not direct exercise.
Yeah. All that
then
stuff.
Then you're going to have exercise added.
Yeah. Any activity.
And then you're going to have the thermic effect of food.
Yeah.
So those four added up give us, this is your maintenance calories. This is what you burn every day.
And I was just flabbergasted because I thought I'd gone through all this stuff. Right. Evidently not. And it's just like, what, do people actually think like this? So it must not just be him. There must be other people out there that don't really understand this stuff. So.
And we come over to the other point we brought up of, no, you shouldn't be eating less than your base metabolic rate. That should be your hard cap, meaning even on a weight loss, which is why. So if they don't get that, they can plug rough numbers in. If they know their age, height, weight, rough body fat, there's calculators that'll tell them loosely their base metabolic rate.
Yeah.
And we should always treat that is, you never drop your calories under that. The exception might be like when I did that with Sam and Tim the other day, and she's a serious competitive bodybuilder. She has dropped below that, and she's like, and I kept muscle. She goes, but I would never have someone do that who's not on drugs.
Yeah.
So there's the difference of you have an enhanced bodybuilder who is saying, but for my clients, this is what I did and got away with it because of what I take to preserve muscle tissue.
Yeah. And then again, that's another topic. Drugs there's a plethora of things we could talk about on drugs.
Right. Yeah. Which I can't really put up. I can't put on Facebook, so I can only get.
I know.
Unfortunately,
The issue is people. If you are eating below your BMR, you are going to crash eventually. There's only so little you can drop your calories, and there's only so much activity you can do before you're like, wow, I'm done.
Burned out.
Plus, there's hormone issues, there's health risks to go eating too little.
Yeah, and that's usually by going under your base metabolic rate. So if you plug it in a calculator and your base metabolic rate looks to be about 1,600, again, I would tell people never go under that. And they'll say, what if I want to fast? Well, maybe you shouldn't be doing a 24-hour fast. I'm just going to throw that out there.
Yeah.
Maybe that's not the best of ideas, just because some guru on TikTok told you, I like to do these 30-hour fasts. I'm like, well, he's a fucking idiot. I'm sorry, you're listening to a fucking moron.
Yeah.
Then I got to watch too many F-bombs.
Two already. We've only got one more.
We can get away with about one more for monetization.
Use it wisely, that one.
Use them wisely. I dropped 2 of them in one go, But really, it's like, well, that's who you're getting your advice from. Like, so let's come back over to that. If you fast for 24 plus hours, did you drop under your base metabolic rate for the day? Yes.
Yeah.
That's not a good idea. Not a good idea from a muscle retention perspective, from a hormone perspective, a health perspective. there's consequences for that.
Yeah, sure, you will probably lose weight doing this, but
It'll be water
is it
weight.
going to be? Yeah,
But you got to look at people. Are you trying to lose fat?
yeah.
Or are you trying to, like in an ideal world, when people talk about weight loss, they're not understanding. They really do mean fat. They're trying to lose body fat.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And like you say, in an ideal world, it'd all be body fat. Yeah, that's all we'd lose each time. But
oh man, that would be amazing if we could pull that off every time. Well, the morbidly obese person can.
Yeah.
You and I are not going to pull that off at a certain point.
No, which
it becomes very difficult. Well, not without magical supplements.
Well, yeah. But even then, it's not guaranteed, is it?
It's not guaranteed.
It kind of like gives you a wider margin, but it's not totally.
Yeah. It's not guaranteed.
Yeah.
And for the people who don't mean by magic supplements, we mean drugs.
Yeah.
We mean anabolic drugs.
Over the counter, just actual.
Yeah, not the stuff you're buying at the supplement store.
No, not Thermo Blitz or something, whatever the hell the new fat loss supplement is. It's always called something like that. It's Thermo Thunder or something daft.
Yeah. and the ironic thing is that people don't seem to grasp, again, with the whole topic of fat burners.
Yeah.
I live in America. This stuff's regulated. If a fat burner is proven to work, it becomes illegal.
Yeah.
So if you see it being sold over the counter as a weight loss supplement and you can legally buy it, they can sell it to you without going to prison. It's not been proven to work.
Put that in the trash.
Like
save money first. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like you already know that if it does work, it just hasn't been proven to work yet because it hasn't been pulled off the shelf.
Yeah.
Because once it's proven to work, it's now prescription level drug.
Yeah.
So that's the thing to remember with fat burners. And then that will get people pause. Like, well, why would anyone make anything to sell you a product? Because you'll buy it. Yeah. They know they can't make a product they know it's illegal for them to make a product that contains proven ingredients that do this. So if they get lucky, they catch some before they're proven to work, throw them in the product. And then, so either it doesn't work, or if it does work, they slip it to you while it's still legal, and then they got to pull it off the shelf once it's proven to work. Yeah. We saw that with ephedra. We saw that with ephedra.
Uneducated people, unfortunately.
Well, they're not aware of how supplement laws work. They're not aware that as soon as something produces a drug-like effect, the FDA in America classifies it as a drug. Yeah. They can't sell it to you now at the supplement store.
Yeah. Damn GNC. Curse you.
All right. So in that case, they're only allowed to sell products that haven't been proven to work yet. Well, that's not very reassuring.
Most fat burners, what's the main ingredient? Caffeine.
Yeah. Get some coffee.
Yeah. Have a coffee. Yeah. Have a Pro Plus if you want. Like, it's cheaper. You're gonna get more out of it. Like, right. Yeah. Green tea tablets are not gonna get you shredded. Sorry, bro.
No, absolutely not.
So yeah, there's the supplements, obviously, but it's just like we've said, it's just getting an understanding of food. Calories, exercise, just a basic understanding. Nothing extreme, nothing ridiculous.
Right.
But we could go into the topic of tracking, actually, because I do think tracking is a legit way of losing weight. And I know the arguments against it is, well, it's never 100% accurate. So that doesn't matter. If your target
it's about general trends. It's about general trends. Because I tell people that.
And you're going to lower the food over time anyway.
Yeah, and that's something I deal with clients when they come to me with, well, I'm tracking my macros. And they're like, I don't track macros personally. Like, what? Like, no, I track calories and protein. But even protein I don't track. I have a minimum number. And as long as I hit that minimum number, I don't count it beyond that for the day. Yeah. So for me, it's just calories. But then we come over to people who are like, well, I think I can track my exact grams of carbs. I'm like, no, you can't.
No,
you can't. You don't have the technology to do that. So we know that calorie tracking is plus or minus 10%. That's assuming you weigh everything.
Yeah.
Because that's where people say, why use a scale? So it's not plus or minus. No, it's plus or minus 10% with a digital scale. If you're not weighing it, it's a bigger than 10%.
Yeah. If you're just eyeballing it, like that seems about right. Yeah.
But that'll still get you in the ballpark because at the end of the day,
Exactly.
it's still about averages. It's
Yeah.
about trends. I mean, weight loss is a trend in calorie deficit plotted over time.
Yeah, exactly. If you're weighing yourself regularly, you are losing weight, or that has stalled and stagnated. You cut your calories a bit, even if it's not totally accurate.
Yeah,
You carry
because
on.
then your average goes down, and
Yeah.
even then, it's small changes. You know, you get people who stall in their weight loss and they want to cut 500 or 600 calories out. Well, if you know you're already in a deficit and it just hasn't whooshed down yet because your body's trying to hold on to a little bit of water while it reaches homeostasis, and you shave off another 500 or 600 calories, we're going to start losing muscle tissue. A lot of what you lose is again going to be water weight. And
And
the people will
back,
say silly, the uneducated person will say silly stuff because we all have those family members and other people.
oh yeah. Oh
Well, I
yeah.
want to lose water weight. I'm like, no, it's temporary.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
it's like, no, you shouldn't be worried about losing the water weight because a lot of them think they're bloated and they're really not. They're just, it's body fat.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's like, just be honest with yourself. You know, you're not as bloated as you think you are,
Yeah. Just.
unless you're doing something that's making you bloat. You know,
Mm.
we can get away with that when we start talking to serious power lifter or bodybuilder because we're both serious lifters. It's because a lot of us take magical supplements that cause us to bloat.
Yeah.
The average person's not taking drugs.
Yeah.
It's just
They're
they're
gonna
probably
retain.
not as bloated as they think they are, unless it's say a woman dealing with her monthly cycle.
Yeah.
But she knows that's going to drop back off. But that's also for the same reason the athlete bloats on certain drugs because it's hormonal. It's literally through the same mechanism.
Yeah.
So, you know, but that's their thing. They need to understand that just because you stalled a little bit and you know you've been in a deficit, maybe ride it out another week or two and then make a very small adjustment.
Yeah.
Maybe shave 100 calories
5-10%.
off your
Yeah.
average.
Yeah.
Because again, your average, because we know it's plus or minus. Yeah.
Because going back, there's only so many times you'll be able to cut off 500 calories before you're in that kind of red zone. Like, oh no, we
Back
should be
under
doing
that
this.
under BMR. Well, I'm going to
Yeah.
go on a limb and say maybe you're going to go away with it about twice, and that's it, and then you're done.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
you can't go any lower.
Yeah. What are you gonna do then? Shit.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But again, it's we come back over to even with the tracking, people will track and then run too low because they want fast results. They're like,
Mm.
but I want it now, and you explain to them, okay, that's what you want.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a joke I made in a live the other day. I want a lightsaber that comes out of my cell phone. So the people who say I want faster than I went further said I also want a dragon.
Yeah.
I want $1 trillion.
Mm.
So it's like while we're on the, why are you wasting wants on set? If you're going to get wishes from a genie, because you're not going to get these fast results, guys. I'm sorry.
No.
It's not actually going to happen. So while we're wasting magic wishes from a genie, wouldn't you rather have a dragon?
Yeah. Legit.
I mean, why don't you just get the slow results like everyone who's made it work forever, like, you know, guys like me who lost our 100 pounds or whatever. Why don't you just get the normal slow results that we know are successful and waste that wish on a dragon?
But even in that case, you are learning how
But
to eat. Yeah.
but it's giving them a thought experiment to say that's how ridiculous what they're saying is.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And when you put it in that perspective, and it's like you do realize that's not going to happen, just like I'm not going to really get the dragon, right? So
Oh, okay.
let's go back to the reality where we're dealing with the real world and the human body
Mm-hmm.
of let's just do it slow like we're supposed to, and then you won't be as miserable and it'll actually work.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it'll
So
be sustainable in the long term.
yeah, totally. But going back to using trackers, and you were talking about people going too low. I've found also people. I think some of them. I think it's MyFitnessPal, the main one. They can plug in their activity, so then they eat that back. Like say they apparently burned 1,000 calories, which is just rubbish anyway. They'll
Yeah,
eat
yeah.
an extra 1,000, and they'll still think they're in a deficit. It's like no, you're well in a surplus now.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
why am I not losing weight? It's like because you're eating back this fake arbitrary number that has been plucked out of
Yeah,
our hand.
well, exactly. They don't understand how little. That's why we come back to the everyone thinks they need to run. because they think they're going to burn this huge amount of calories. And it's like, they don't understand. You're not Alex Viada.
Yeah.
So, you know, like, what do you mean? It's like burning 1,000 calories through exercise. Do you know how hardcore that is?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, you look at them and go, do you even have enough muscle mass to burn 1,000 calories running?
I
Like,
see
you
people
look
on
out, I don't
Instagram
see.
putting up the watches saying, "Oh, I burned 1,500 calories in that workout doing burpees." Like, come on,
Like,
bro.
yeah, you look at them and go,
Fitbit is
you
wrong.
don't have the muscle mass to burn 1,500 calories doing cardio. Like, you don't squat 600-700 pounds,
Yeah.
and I don't see quads this big.
Yeah.
So where are you getting this? You burned it through exercise, because you don't have the metabolic rate to do that.
Yeah, in an hour. I don't think so.
Oh, an hour. I was thinking 3 hours, 4 hours.
No, that's what they do. They put up these, like, it's like an
Oh
hour
my
and three. It says on the Apple Watch, 1,500 calories. You know, they'll take a picture, put it on Instagram.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah. Whereas in the reality is, to burn 500 calories per hour, you better be a phenomenal athlete with a lot of muscle.
Yeah. Yeah.
To burn 500 calories an hour is a high level athlete. That is not the Gen Pop, which is who's trying to do this.
Yeah.
Like, again, you guys aren't Alex Viada.
No. On top of that, I know there's the hit versus list debate, which I think is just pointless.
It's trivial. It's
anyway.
completely trivial. Yeah.
Like, I remember working at a gym once, and the head coach there, he had some obese guy put a 10-kilo vest on and do hill sprints. And I was thinking, why? I was like, well, you know, high intensity. It's like, no, this guy is gonna get hurt.
Yeah, and then you look at it and go,
box jumps. Like, this guy was like 25 stone.
oh my God.
You know, he was a fat dude.
All that stuff. So he's putting the client in danger, trying to burn 10 calories.
Yeah, and then doing those ladder drills, which I don't like anyway.
You know, so it's like, yeah, you're gonna let him eat one bite of an apple.
Yeah.
All that work so that he can get one extra bite out of the apple.
Yeah, and all that risk for nothing.
For 10 calories, you know.
Yeah. Just insane. Like, absolutely insane.
Yeah, but people don't get that it's very difficult to burn calories through exercise. It's not something you can do easily. Like, to a significant degree, okay, 50 calories, yes, but
yeah,
1,000 calories. I mean, that's not for people who have jobs and families and things. I can tell you that much, because that's a very, very serious time commitment.
Yeah, and 50 calories, it adds up. I know that,
It
but
adds up.
It's literally just like a piece of fruit extra or something. It is a tiny.
Yeah, it's half a banana. It's half of a slice of bread.
Yeah, it is a tiny amount. Well, going off that, you've probably seen these all over the place, especially around like holiday times. You know, they put these, they're either memes or stupid videos now saying, oh, one chocolate bar equals 40 minutes on the treadmill. One piece of cake equals 3 hours on swimming.
We come back. What's the mindset they're telling now?
Yeah.
You have to punish yourself for eating.
Yeah, I hate that. Well, and it's just like, it's numbers again poured out their ass. Because like you said, if you've got some guy who's like a 600-700 pound squatter, they're going to burn more than Joe Schmo who's, you know, struggling to get under 200 pounds or something. It's just stupid. And it is telling people, like you said, you need to punish yourself because you've had something you enjoy. It's just silly. I hate it.
Right. Yeah. Well, it's programming them to binge and purge.
Yeah, and most beginners.
But let's come over to how many of these influencers who are doing this have eating disorders, though.
Oh yeah, big time. Yeah.
So is it any surprise that an influencer with an eating disorder is now going to project his eating disorder onto his audience?
Yeah. Well, no, but yeah, it's insane. And influencers are not people you need to follow. Influencers do not last long, as we both know.
We've seen the turnover. Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, but
I'm one of those who made it through the long term. But I don't know if I'd really be an influencer. I don't know if that's really the best term. I've kind of in that category, but I've stuck it out over the long term and learned a lot.
Yeah, you left the diuretic at home. You're okay.
Yeah, exactly. You know, but yeah, I mean, a lot of these people, and they're going to put out advice, they don't really know what they're doing. They're often genetically gifted. They often have their own eating disorders, and we all have our issues. I mean, I have my own body dysmorphia, but I'm aware of it.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah,
a big topic at the moment. I think that is a really big one.
I'm going to be doing a bunch of those with
Yeah,
other coaches. Yeah, hitting on those because it has to be talked about.
yeah, legit. Yeah, but they just regurgitate each other's bullshit. These influencers, it's all the same, just worded slightly different, and sometimes not even worded different. It's just all the same crap that people do not need to hear. You just need to learn how to eat, learn how to exercise, rinse and repeat.
Right. And, with the other thing, we come over to the whole holiday thing. I mean, there are strategies to deal with that are not a purging related. It's a case of make room for it and then accept it and move on. Meaning, what people forget, you can only absorb so many calories in a day. And it's lower than a lot of people realize. Like, again, we go, perfect example, Viata has a lot of detailed math. The same guy we we're just talking about.
Yeah.
Again, and it makes sense because he works with athletes who calories limit their ability to perform.
Yeah.
So he does math and has a lot of data out there on, hey, if I squat 600 pounds, how far can I get away with running and how many calories can I absorb in a 24-hour period to even fuel this training?
Yeah. Well, as well, didn't Alan do a big bit on overfeeding? Like how she weighted.
So a single day of overfeeding isn't going to make any difference other than water. So I would tell people, look, if you know you're going to go to a holiday feast and you're like us and you pig out, I have a very simple solution. Walk into the holiday feast fasted. That's it.
Yeah.
Done. Just don't eat breakfast before you go to the holiday feast.
Yeah. Yeah.
That gave you some wiggle room because you already know you're going to pig out.
Yeah, you were going to overeat, of course.
You know you're going to do it. So walk in fasted, you minimize the damage, and then realize because you gave yourself an even smaller absorption window, you probably pulled less total calories out of it.
Yeah.
And then go about your normal business the next day like nothing happened.
Yeah, don't punish yourself. Don't go for a massive run. Don't starve yourself. Don't do any of that bullshit. Just carry on as normal. Pick yourself
carry
up
on as normal.
another day.
And realize that if you walked in fasted, and let's say that your GI tract personally is only capable of absorbing 4,000 calories in a 24-hour period, and you, because of the fast beforehand, and you do that and go, okay, so worst case, I gained this many grams of body fat, I'll burn that off through the week with my regular normal activity.
Yeah, nothing extreme, nothing silly.
Nothing extreme. Don't make changes. Just go back to what you were doing.
And people need to realize, like the average person who just likes lifting, that is fine.
Yeah.
Like you're entitled to enjoying the holidays.
Yeah.
Not punish yourself for it.
And it's different if, on that, if you have a photo shoot coming in 2 weeks in a bikini. Okay, I get it.
Yeah. If you have
You're about to do a bodybuilding show. Okay, well, this is different. But for the average recreational person who just wants to have a little bit of ab and to look fit, the strategy I gave is all they need.
And it's not worth, I think, sacrificing that time with your friends and family.
Just go into the holiday meal fasted.
Yeah.
That's it. Done.
That is it. Yeah. Proceed as normal.
And then proceed as normal the next day. Problem solved. You will literally over the next week. So basically, if you're dieting, you set your diet back 1 week because of Christmas.
Oh no.
Because now you're just going to need the normal week to just burn off what you gained.
Yeah.
Well, I think we're pretty good there.
Yeah. A week setback is fine in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, because most of it's going to be water that they gain.
Yeah, and depending how far you are into a diet, it could be a nice psychological break, like any kind of cheat meal, like you say, a social event. It
absolutely
could help you more than hinder you, depending on the person.
So, if anything, all of a sudden you're going to have a good workout the next day.
Oh yeah.
You're like, oh man, my strength is back.
I look full. I look good. Damn. Yeah.
Or that also happens for someone who's leaner and chasing that look. They do that thing, and then all of a sudden their muscles have filled back out, and now they're popping again, and then they look they look fitter the next day than they did before.
Yeah, because at that stage, it might be going back to the dysmorphia. They might think they look flat, they look weak, it's not going well. They have a bit of a binge, and voila, a bit more, I don't like the word, but motivated then. Like, right, let's crack on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So I think we've run this about 50 minutes now, so we could probably wind it down. We'll definitely do more of these. It was fun. I'll get this up later today. I'll link all your stuff. So
Awesome,
if you
man.
guys want to check out Lewis over at Logical Lifting, I'll put it down below. But yeah, it was good having you on, man. So
Nice one, Jason.
Yep.
Cheers, brother.